Yo, what's up? Welcome to Red River Podcast. The October time is in full swing. I still rocked a t-shirt all day today, but it was, pretty chilly, which was nice. Yeah, we're in full swing. So let's talk some goddamn horror movies, some horror subjects. You and I and a few other thousand people went to go see John Carpenter at the Knockdown Center in Maspeth, Queens. Uh, yeah. How was that from your perspective? We watched together, we split up. The merch game was crazy, right?
Merch game was on point. Quality t-shirts too, I might add. I wore mine the other day. Nice butter soft fucking cotton.
Yeah.
It's beautiful shit. But I
Blue
got a
blue and cream.
Halloween shirt. What did you know what I mean? What did you get? I got a Halloween shirt with the glow in the dark one.
That was the coolest one. I honestly didn't realize it was a t-shirt. I thought it was a movie poster, but I guess it was the same design on the signed
Mm.
poster, which is him like peeking through like the closet. I was like, oh, that's a design I've never seen. So I ended up just getting a regular Halloween one with John Carpenter toward the 25 tour on the back. So
I mean, they had a shirt or something for every single movie practically that he's ever did, that's got a cult following. They live baseball jerseys. I really like that one.
Jack
The
Burton.
Obey hats, Jack Burton. Um, it was stacked. I mean, and the merch was the people were in line. He made some bank that night.
Oh yeah,
That
with that
the merch line was out of control, man.
Ghost of Mars Crocs, I think I saw there, which was pretty cool.
Did. This was Escape from LA. They had
Yeah.
some boxer shorts. Uh, but
That's
yeah,
right.
interesting venue. Like it looked like an old rave warehouse.
Yes.
Never been before. You had been there. The parking blows, as you told me, and you were totally right about that. But a cool looking, different kind of place. Uh, just like a big like hangar almost, like if you can imagine it and stuff. And it was packed out, man. Like he played an hour and 15 about, I guess, hour
Yeah,
and
about
20.
about like 80 minutes.
Yep.
Did, did,
And
did the
if
same
you
thing the
if
night before.
yes, and if you get it, if anyone, if you listen to this and you like horror, which you probably do if you listen to this and you get a chance to see him, go see him. I'm really glad we went because see him in October, and if anyone hasn't seen him, he's got a full band up there. He's playing the best themes. He plays some of his solo work, which was very good too, but themes from all of his, well-known movies with clips in the back that people were reacting to. And it was just so cool to hear it in a setting with so many people, these songs and themes that we know so well. We're all there paying homage to this dude that's given us so much. And it's almost like he brought, I haven't like, I don't know if it was because it was hot maybe the beginning of October and this and that. And I'm always down for October, but when he came to town, like it set off like Halloween for me. Like that experience, the weather dropped, like it happened.
It set it off for sure. It's like you end up in this place in this like warehouse really in the middle of Queens where yeah, like he brought the Halloween. Like I feel like he came like the fog, showed up and did his thing.
Yeah.
I was wondering what kind of scenes they were going to play in the background, and it was cool because it was like kind of just like this through the, like a almost like a combination or mixtape of these full movies,
Hmm.
which I thought was really cool because I didn't know if it was just going to be a scene or whatever, but it's not. It's just this compilation of these movies, for whether it's The Fog or Christine or In the Mouth of Madness. And it's just super killer. It's just like we were there to give him his flowers. This is what he loves to do now. And, aside from watching basketball, like he's out there fucking doing his thing with the synth. I've mentioned it before. The Rise of the Synthesizer, I think is the name of the documentary, which is currently up on Screambox. I don't know if you could rent it anywhere. I think it's just exclusively on there, but I think the subscription to Screambox is probably like 3, 4, $5. So even if you look at it as like renting this documentary on like this new synthwave thing that he narrates. Then you have Screambox for like a month, and for the month of October, which is cool. They probably have a lot of cool stuff on there.
I mean,
Um,
really, his sound gave birth to that whole movie. I haven't seen that doc, but I'm
oh
definitely
man,
interested. I just
yeah,
wrote
it's
it down.
yeah.
But he gave birth to, I mean, you really can trace, where you could trace metal bands back to Sabbath or this and that whole synthwave sound, that retro 80s is really so derivative of the sound that that guy pioneered. And I think we were talking on the way home, but I was like, man, name another creative guy that's got that did the directing, the writing,
Mm.
and scored these movies that could do a whole package like this live. I don't think there is another one, you know.
Nah, he put in work, man. I mean, he put in work. You could say, maybe vampires, or like I'm trying to think of what the cutoff is as far as his work. You could say in the Mouth of Madness, right? Like 95, but from like 78, not even like I guess you got to remember Assault.
Mhm.
I mean, this guy put in work for 20 years just making the coolest shit, making his own soundtracks, and now he's just, in cruise control and bucket list to just basically even just to stare even just to
Yeah.
stare at him and be like, "Oh yeah, look at that. That's John Carpenter over there," for like 80 minutes. Well worth it.
There
He's
is a
got
bit of that.
yeah, yeah. It's just like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So, all right, yeah. So another thing we could cover before we hit the brackets real quick. I want to see Good Boy. You watched it, so let's talk about that, and we'll talk briefly about Bring Her Back because I just watched that finally. So,
Funny you were posting about that because because I'm all horror right now. And I'm like, I want to revisit a lot of films that I saw earlier in the year. Not that it was that much earlier, but just the ones I held in high esteem, Companion, that one, and see what I think like going into when we make our year-end list and stuff. And I just rewatched that movie like yesterday.
mm. Bring Her
Oh,
Back.
that was your first time seeing it?
Yeah, so I don't know what it was, maybe mentally I was expecting a Talk to Me sequel before
Hmm.
anything, and then the two brothers came back. I mean, Talk to Me just blew me away. That we're talking about
Hmm.
the Philippou brothers. It just blew me away because it was just the casting, the acting, the characters, everyone felt so genuine. It didn't feel like you watch these, I'll go to like the late 90s, like these like fucking like I Know What You Did Last Summer. Even the new one, I Know What You Did Last Summer. It's just like this random collection of like, jeans models like hanging out and having
Yeah.
these like weird conversations. They just don't look like real people.
I just
These
watched that actually too.
Well, we'll talk about that too. So, it talked to me just was such a genuine fucking movie. And then I remember watching and leaving the theater thinking to myself, there's few times, especially lately, where you're just like, oh, that was a real horror movie. Like there wasn't like, bodies, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like these like random things like, okay, this is like, oh, totally killer. It's like this slasher, but it's funny and time
Mhm.
travel. This, like, Talk to Me was just like a real fucking horror movie. Like a real fucking horror movie. And I think they did it again with Bring Her Back. Like I watched it yesterday, and it just I can't like, sure, it's like derivative of certain things. You think of like Pet Cemetery, you think of like Speak No Evil, you know what I mean? Like these things where like the humans are like so flawed and terrible, like that main actress when she's like dumping the piss on him. I'm like, you, and then she smacked the girl.
Yeah.
Oh, she
Yeah.
was so fucking evil. And then you figure out what's going on in the plot and what's going like when that lady gets hit by the car or somewhere like three quarters into the, I'm like, how did they fake that? That looked like she really, like, I don't know what stunt
Yeah.
double got mowed down by a car. I rewound it like three times going like, that looked really real. And the young kid who played, his name's Connor, right, in the movie. I mean, just like when he starts biting that desk or chewing on the knife, like the scenes were so sad,
Yeah.
so brutal, so graphic in a way that it was just, I can't even describe how uncomfortable it was to watch some of these scenes. but then it was so poetic and like amazing, like the last frame of the movie, what you see, it's like, holy shit, guys, like you guys fucking, this might even be better than Talk to Me.
Yeah, I think I liked it even a little bit. But I liked it the first time I saw it. I saw it in the theater. Um, and I liked it. I didn't have it ranked as high as some other people I saw that were really all about it. But then, it just goes to show you any film that you like, when you watch it a second time around, knowing what it is, it could bring so much like different understanding and stuff like that. And I would like rank it another star higher than the first viewing. It's exactly what you said. It's really heavy. The acting in it is fantastic. The lead actress, I can't remember her name offhand.
She
I was
was
just looking up.
so good.
Was she the girl in Shape of Water, right? I believe.
Oh,
I,
man,
th-
you know what?
I
When you,
think that's her.
okay, I could see that.
Um,
When you mention it,
I'm looking it up. Yeah, it is. She was the main actress in it. She's very good. And even the lady that got hit by the car, she was fantastic. The
yeah.
kids did a fantastic job. And
The like the Asian chick, the young girl, she was so good. And I think she's
fantastic.
really blind, right?
It's gotta be.
She gotta be, right?
I meant to look that up.
She can't.
You couldn't do that eye shit for that whole time.
I don't think so. I mean,
And if she did, yo, give her an award, man.
Paul Giamatti did it for The Leftovers. They're like, yo, how'd you get your eye to do that? He's like, yo, I just did it for like the whole movie. And I'm like, that's why you're Paul Giamatti. Like, that's crazy. You just like crooked-eyed yourself for a whole movie.
He sat at home staring at the wall, practicing his eye roll. But yeah, and then that
Yo, real
the
quick.
boy
Yo,
Connor
hold on.
was go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
Did you did you ever see the meme where it says Biggie wasn't cockeyed? He just knew he always had to have an eye on Puffy.
The one at the mixing
Yeah,
desk,
yeah,
and he's
yeah.
got one eye on Puffy and eye on a bag of Doritos or something on the mixing desk.
That shit is
Fuck yeah,
way too funny. He's like, yeah, his eyes weren't
fucking
fucked up. He just knew he just always had to keep an eye on Puff.
that is a great one,
Ah,
man.
yeah.
Oh shit.
But yeah,
But
Connor, that kid was
uh
unreal.
all time creepy
All
and
time.
sad, like you said, but like what he did to himself was a rough watch.
Whoa,
That
man.
real rough. And the bloodshot eyes, the whole fucking by the what he looked like by the end when he was like,
Yeah,
spoiler alerts, I guess. But he got that like pregnant looking belly and whatnot and shit. Horrific looking. I mean, horrific. They
yeah.
did a number on that. It's a great movie. I mean,
It's unbelievable.
it'll be in my top 10, I'm sure.
I gotta tell you, there's competition finally because I talking about rewatching stuff. I think I've seen The Monkey two or three times now, and every time I watch The Monkey, I'm like, I love this movie even more now. It's just, but Bring Her Back is like, I was just blown away by just how mean that lady was through the whole movie. But then you kind of almost feel bad for her because of the trauma that it's like losing the
Yeah,
kid.
sure.
And I'm like, bring her back. Like, I get it now. But just that last scene, man, just that last fucking scene in the pool, you're just like, this is heavy.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
really fucking heavy.
And
And
was it you that point that was A24 bought that and put it out? Was that the film you
A24,
were
yeah, eight. No, I said that about Talk to Me because I was
Oh,
like,
yes. Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
Rob told me, he's like, well, they didn't make it. And I'm like, that makes sense. So I think these
Mhm.
guys, they probably make these movies and it just gets put out by A24. So, but Bring Her Back, amazing. I guess let's just touch on that. I Know What You Did real quick. You watched it because I think I mentioned it like a couple episodes ago how I felt about it.
Yeah.
So what did you think?
Uh it was about as bad as I thought it would be, or as good as I thought it would be. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? I'm not a fan of that franchise. It's like Goosebumps level. entry horror, and which had there's a purpose for that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And if like teenagers or whatnot in that age, they to go to a theater and see a horror film, like it's cute like that, you know what I
My
mean? But
like
like,
that's made for like my nieces basically that are like
yeah,
19 and 14 where they're just like, okay, like I'll watch this with my friends, but like animals like us, we're just like, what is this?
it's
I
like
will
gateway
I
horror.
will
It's like
say
an
though,
after school special.
I did like the ending, that tie-in, because through
Hmm.
the whole first two movies, Freddie Prinze was just kind of like, I think through the second movie there was kind of like a suspicion that he was the killer, but it was not, it wasn't. And now they,
Hmm.
when they do that ending, I'm thinking like, okay, first of all, the main girl, not the main girl, but the killer girl, right?
Hmm.
She was so over the top during the reveal that I was like, this is outrage, like this is outrageous. But it was like the fake
It was
ending.
soap opera level acting.
Yeah, but like so it was like the girl from the studio was pretty cool in it too. Forget her name. But
It was good.
yeah, the fake ending was like over the top, and then the real ending with Freddie Prinze, and then fucking I'm like, "Oh, this is
Yeah.
and like you said, as good as this terrible movie is gonna be."
Like I've always said too, especially with the slasher, I'll forgive a lot of shit in it, but bring them kills. Like the kills aren't like amazing. I always thought
Nope.
that killer was kind of lame with
Yep.
the fucking hook. How many different things are you gonna do with the hook? Like it's just there's only so far you can go. Freddie
Listen,
Prince and Jennifer Love Hewitt are terrible, but
I will say this. If you're like the hook from the mutilator when he shoves it inside that girl's pussy, I'm like,
the thing
that
is, the
is,
mutilator is gonna reach for something else the next time. Like
yeah,
it's just like a little like
that's true.
but like I just have horror on all the time, and I was like, fuck it. I
Yeah,
gotta clean the house, put my
yeah,
headphones on, watching it,
yeah.
and then it's about what I thought I'd get out of it.
You
But if
like,
it's like a gateway horror film for a teenager, then
yeah,
fucking have a good time.
for sure. So
And
in
Good
the
Boy, I saw Good Boy.
go ahead.
I gotta mention that one. Um, I loved it. Uh, I really did, and I'd like to see it again. Um, If anybody doesn't know, the dog is the main character of this film. It's uh, we've kind of seen, like in a violent nature, when we watch the serial killer's perspective, a different take on a slasher. This is more of a supernaturally kind of thing, um, but now we're getting it from a dog's perspective, and what he's going through. So it really follows him along, but it does a great job. Like first of all, like it's the most empathy I've ever had for a final survivor of it. I might be a sociopath, or I've just watched too many horror movies, but people are like, oh, I cared about the characters. I'm like, man, I don't just fucking they're like meat to me.
Very
But
rare, very rare.
but I was all vested in this dog, man, and his experience. It's like a tight, I think it's an hour and 15 minutes, maybe
With
the length of a John Carpenter concert.
the BTS
Uh,
at the end, right?
Yes, I if you see it, you got to watch the behind the scenes on how this guy got the shots he did, and they'll show, and they'll cut back to what was actually like somebody filming him filming the dog, and then what they did in the post and the edits. The score is fantastic. The sound editing is fantastic. It's got a really I'm not going to say anything about the ending because you haven't seen it, but it's kind of it, it's cool. It wraps it up nicely. They did a great job. I hope it does really well because it's great independent cinema.
So we got a killer's perspective, now a dog POV. What else? What's next?
Well, we also had, and this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Uh, what was it called? A Ghost Story? Not. Um, I think the Affleck brother.
Oh, yeah, Ghost Story, I think.
Yeah, where it's like the ghost
Yeah.
point of view, I believe that was
I
fucking
remember you hated it. Yeah.
torturous.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's that you watch a girl eat a pie for like 20 minutes.
That's what you said. Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. But
One day
I
I'll
don't know.
watch
You
it.
could get there's definitely going to be more things like this, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if I know horror, there's gonna be, I don't know what other perspective, the machete. Maybe I know what you did last summer from The
Yeah.
Hook.
Maybe the neighbor
Perspective.
that doesn't get killed.
Yeah, just looking through his window, and what the fuck's
Yeah.
going on over there?
Yeah, it's world starring The Massacre.
Yeah, I don't
Uh
know. It's coming though, but
to a theater near you. Okay, so in the group,
I saw Bone Lake too. Very mid, whatever. You see it on streaming, great. If not, you're not missing that much.
yeah, I gotta watch that. But
Yeah, it's all right.
I haven't heard anyone rub their dick about it, so
It's okay. It takes a long time for the horror to get going, and I understand characters in horror movies have to make bad decisions to move the plot to a certain place, but I've never seen a couple make dumber decisions time and time again that you're like, what the
I
fuck is wrong with you
I
stupid
s-
assholes?
I started watching Marshmallow, which is another movie that came out. You know, summer camp. Like I don't. I think I'm like the movie might be like an hour and 40 minutes, and I think I stopped it at like an hour and 10 minutes, like another 30 minutes left because I was like, it took like 50 minutes for anything to happen, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking like, and it wasn't even like an entertaining 50 minutes. I mean, I guess eventually I have to finish it, but I heard a lot of people talk about Marshmallow. They're like, "Oh, this is one of the
Never
years."
heard of it.
Oh, you got to check it out. Yeah, it's kind of like
It's this year it came out?
this year. Oh.
All right, I'll check that
It
out.
looks cool. Corbin Burnson's in it, so I'm like, okay, the dentist is in it. But anyway,
Yeah.
so moving forward with the for the group, we I figured let's do a fun October brackets. And I went very ambitious. I went best horror movies of the last 25 years. So from 2000 to 2025. And I asked the group for some suggestions. They gave me a bunch. But then at the end of the day, I figured if I'm doing the brackets, I have to, have. I took out like session nine because I never watched it.
Mhm.
There were certain things that didn't make it. Like I would have thrown Kidnapped in, which was at
Oh,
2011. That movie is fucking,
fantastic.
but a lot of people have not seen it.
No,
So I'm like,
I know.
and I get it. Like I'm looking at like, I don't know, fucking it or something. And I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, I can't take it out just to put Kidnapped in. So I had to have some sort of
sure.
uh
You got to give the people what they want, Sam.
A, a
We're all
little
about
bit.
that.
A little bit. But for every one of those I threw in like Found and like the Dead Center. But anyway, so I figured let's go through the first round. I think like halfway done or maybe like 14, right? Four, no, it would be 16. Today's the fourth day. So I'm
Are
dropping
the
four
one.
dropping four I'm dropping four matches a day. I got another eight to go after this. So it would be fun to just like go through the brackets, talk a little bit about the movies, and so
Yeah.
here we go. The first match is Terrifier 2 versus Contracted. What do you think about that?
Contracted's a great movie, but Terrifier 2 is a juggernaut, man.
Yeah.
You know.
And
Uh,
Contracted is like, listen, we're all animals and we all like having sex and whether it's when we were more alive 20 years from today when we were gallivanting
yeah.
it's just very very relatable where you're like okay like what the fuck ultimate body horror type stuff things that are just
Hmm.
horrifying that happens to these people. But Terrifier 2, so that was the one that I picked out of the three. I figured okay, some people like three, some people like the first, but I feel like as a whole, I think everyone feels like part two might have been the best one. So yeah, I mean that's just tough to
Agreed.
beat. So second match, Talk to Me against Hereditary.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an Ari Aster stan, I know you're probably not as much.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think you liked Hereditary, right? Am I
The thing for me was I liked the movie as a part of like grief and like having this like awful thing happen and just being like just the pure dread and depression of it all. But then the last 10-15 minutes happened where she like, Tony Collette walks on the ceiling and people think that that's like it's like, but she walked on the ceiling. I'm like, yeah, but the ending was so dumb. And they're like, but look up Pi Mai or whatever the fuck. I'm like, I
Biomai? What'd
no,
you say?
yeah, it was like I forget like the lore behind the ending, like right.
Okay.
It was just so
Yeah.
I forget the name of it, but yeah, for me 100% talk to me like it's like good pizza versus Elio's in my opinion there.
Yeah. I mean, I like Midsummer better than Hereditary, uh, as far as Aster goes, but it's your poll, brother.
No, but I'm saying like what do you pick? We could pick.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hereditary.
Okay,
I do
Hereditary.
love Talk to Me, but like I said, I loved Hereditary. I remember I was excited when I saw it when it first came out, and I was like, "Oh, this director's got something interesting to say." Like,
Yeah. He did Eddington, right? I still didn't watch that, so
yeah, man,
I
that's a
gotta watch
good
it.
one. It's a good one.
The third of 24, The Strangers versus You're Next. So, the home invasion.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
That was a tough one. Those are both great films, completely for different reasons. Like Your Next is like just fun, violent action, and Strangers is a dark, dark slasher film.
Yeah, that's why. So, with the brackets, I also avoided like thrillers and
Hmm.
horror adjacent stuff like Green Room, and horror comedies, like Scout's Guide to Zombie Apocalypse or
Yeah.
Zombieland.
Dawn of the Dead, or yeah.
Yeah, so what I mean for me, like The Strangers is just dark. It's just pure horror. Your Next was great, but it had like a comedic side to it, and I feel like The
Hmm.
Strangers just covered that home invasion. So
I remember being pumped when I saw that Strangers trailer. Like, I don't know, I was starving for something like that when it came out, like a really dark slasher, and they're playing that fucking record and shit in the trailer and
record's
stuff,
great,
and
yeah.
the masks, and like I'm like, oh man, what is going on here? I'm about this. So yeah, I
Yeah.
voted for Strangers.
And that guy's new movie, Brian Bertino, he put out I watched on Paramount Plus, it's called Vicious with Dakota Fanning. I thought it
Yeah, I
was
gotta
really
see that.
good. He's got Strangers, he's got The Monster, he's got The Dark and the Wicked, and now this movie. So, all right,
Cool.
so we're both on Strangers. Here's another fun one: Dead Snow 2 against the Dead.
Yeah, I mean, I bet more people saw Dead Snow. And they're
Yeah,
both kind of, a
they're
bit
both.
off
Yeah,
the radar if you're not like a super horror fan or something like that. And Dead Snow 2 I love that series. Dead Snow 2 is a fucking super fun zombie movie. And you did the same kind of thing. Like, but The Dead is might be, and zombie movies are pretty much all bleak unless they're like a comedy or some shit. And even then, you could make the argument. But The Dead captures a zombie film in such a heavy, heavy way. Like they're not all like they're just kind of meandering around in this desert. It's just depressing.
waiting for
Uh,
death.
yeah, yeah, and it works though. It's one of those movies where people, you know, if they I'm always championing it to like if people, oh, I'm looking for a good horror movie. I've never seen it.
Yeah,
Like zombies, check this out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. For me, I remember it came out around the Redbox era.
Hmm.
So there was that moment in time where like, right, like Netflix didn't have certain things, or maybe there was no like awesome streaming like that, and Redbox was a viable option where you can go and you're like, oh, I haven't seen this, and you get like one of 30 Nicolas Cage movies that you've never heard of, and The Dead was one of them, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. So Final Girls was
Terrible
another
name
one.
though. Terrible. I don't think the name helps it. I think
Yeah,
if they gave it a little more of a distinguished name, because The Dead is very, you know,
No,
you
yeah,
feel like there's been a million movies
yeah.
like kind of that. I wish that maybe had a different title, might have
I
helped
got
it
a zombie
marketing wise.
movie, and the name of the movie is called The Dead. What do you think about it? Let's do
Yeah,
it. Let's do it.
yeah,
Um, yeah, and Dead Snow 2 is just so much fun. Like it's just,
sure.
and I picked that one over the first Dead Snow because the first Dead Snow was really like a foreign flick that got popular in the States. So they're like, okay, let's do a sequel in English and invite Martin Starr. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, yep.
Teeth against the Human Centipede.
Um, I think I voted for Teeth in this one. Both very original concepts. Good matchup in that regard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Human Centipede is I wasn't a super fan of it, you know. It was something different, you know, but I'd probably go with Teeth over that. What
The
did you pick?
concept, so the concept, I thought to myself, the Human Centipede, which I saw it at the IFC theater when it
Mhm.
came out, I thought that was like the first movie that was like this pop culture. Like I thought it was the first movie of the internet. And then I was listening to the Icons of Fright podcast, and they mentioned Snakes on a Plane. I was like, you know what? That was actually the first movie that became popular on the internet
Mm.
before the Human Centipede, where it's like, oh, this is so stupid and this is a meme,
Right.
right? So like, I'm like, oh yeah, because before that, people just knew that Human Centipede. Like, there's this doctor and he sews people together, and you're like, wow, that's really weird and stupid. And I think
Yeah.
most more people know about it than have actually seen the movie. And Teeth is like a fucking vagina with teeth. I mean, that's pretty amazing, you know.
The
I
guy that plays the mad scientist in Human Centipede is fantastic though. He's got
Yeah.
that Udo Kier fucking
He
kind of
does.
thing going on.
He's got the Udo Kier, Michael Shannon
Yes.
mixture going on. I went Human Centipede just because it's. I remember it more than I remember Teeth. Number six, Maniac remake against Wolf Creek 2. Slasher films here.
I went I don't remember Wolf Creek 2 that well. I obviously saw it. I remember the first one more. I
Mm.
kind of I went Maniac just on the fact that I think that's one of the best remakes. If I was making a list of remakes, that would be up there. I think they took a beloved underground horror movie, updated it, but kept something uh I don't know. They paid respect to the original without just redoing it or whatever. I thought, and Elijah Wood's great in it, so I just went that way. I just don't remember Wolf Creek 2 that much.
So Wolf Creek, I liked the first Wolf Creek. I thought it was cool. I thought it was like The Strangers, where it seemed like realistic because like the ending was so bleak, and you're like, wow, like maybe this really did happen. But then I remember the ending scene where you're like, they tell you the story, and then they're like, but the guy who survived was under suspicion because they never found anyone. I was like, oh, imagine he was the killer, and he made up this
Mm.
whole story. Now, Wolf Creek 2 is like one of these things where it's like, okay, they created this character in the first movie, and then they just let him run loose in the second, where that dude,
That
he
guy was great.
he was fucking great. You got to rewatch it eventually because
Okay.
it starts off with a bang. Like he shoots this like cop after he gives him a ticket, but you're not expecting. Like the cop gives him a ticket and he's like riding away and he's like on the blah blah on the in the car, and all of a sudden you see this bullet blow, like you blew his head off with no warning, and you're like, what the fuck? And then the movie just, it's like from Alien to Aliens, just
Okay.
gas pedal. But I went with Maniac because it it's just, I can't think of a better horror remake. Maybe The Blob,
Yeah.
but Maniac was just unbelievable. Like the colors, the POV,
Yeah. Soundtrack's
the
great.
selection of being in California as opposed to like just everything about it worked. So unbelievable remake. Number seven, we have Saw against the Evil Dead remake 2013.
I went Saw is great. First Saw is awesome. I went with the Evil Dead remake. Um, I'm an Evil Dead. I love Evil Dead. I think pound for pound, it's besides like if we always talk about batting average and stuff like that, the Evil Dead franchise, really doesn't have. I know I don't think you liked Evil Dead Rise as much as I did, but
Didn't
you
like it.
take the films and that series
TV,
and
yeah,
stuff,
TV.
they just knock shit out of the park. And that remake was, it really it keeps true to a lot of the Deadite stuff, but it takes the humor right out of it, and with a darker tone. I thought they did a great job with that. So as much as great as Saw was, I just went with Evil Dead.
No humor in that one. Like no
None.
humor. This like that was like a really fucking. I mean, speaking of remakes, that was a really good one. I went with Saw just because it was just so like groundbreaking and it like spawned so many things. And then that ending where you're like, holy shit, this guy's just been on the floor with them the whole time. I don't know, just unbelievable. I mean, listen, this is the cream of the crop, the last 25 years. So, but I went Saw.
Yep.
Number eight, Trick or Treat, against the Dark and the Wicked. Tough matchup.
I don't think I've seen The Dark and Wicked. It is uh I gonna see it though, because you said so many great things about it. But I feel like I missed that. So I had to go, with the other choice.
Yeah.
I'm
I got to tell you, Dark and the Wicked's great.
I'm putting
It's
that in
just,
my queue right now.
yeah, it's one of those movies like I mentioned with Trick or Treat, where it's like you watch something that's just pure horror, and I think that movie is just pure horror. You know.
Yeah, so I was kind of biased because I didn't have an educated opinion on the other one, but I mean, I love Trick or Treat too, man. I remember that movie that coming out of nowhere. Like it didn't get a theatrical. Shoulda, right?
No,
When that movie
so
came out.
my whole, speaking of Rob again, when he moved out to LA, he was like, he would put me onto certain things like The Signal or these movies. And then one time he was like, yo, he's like, this fucking movie called Trick or Treat. It's like the best fucking Halloween movie. It's like Tarantino wrote it. And it was like in limbo forever. Like you
Mm.
couldn't, like, there was no release or whatever. And I'm like, man, I can't wait to see this one day, one day. And I almost feel like he sent me a copy. I don't remember how I saw it, but I did watch it and just yeah, it was pretty mind blowing. So like I think it was just one of those things that was made in 2007 because that's what it's listed as, but it didn't get like a release till like I gotta say to like 2012 maybe.
Yeah, yeah, it's something odd, and it's one of the best horror anthologies ever. I think. Like
Yeah.
it's just great, and the Halloween. I'm surprised they haven't pumped out more. You
Mm.
know, Uh, they could
And
do that every year with
Mike
Halloween stories.
Michael Dougherty, you know, goes from making that to making Krampus, and I think Krampus is I'm a huge Krampus fan.
I love Krampus.
So number nine, Triangle, which is one of my favorite movies, you know, which I know a lot of people have not seen, to Let the Right One In.
Triangle's a great movie, but I uh, let the right one in. Is this the English version, or does it matter, or what are we talking
Well,
about?
let 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 her in. No, this is the original version. Let the Right
Okay,
One In is the original.
that's right.
I,
Let
I
her in.
Let
Yeah,
Her In
let,
is something like that. It
it
might have been.
wasn't a bad remake either. I
I
gotta
didn't
say,
watch it.
but the original one is great. It's got such a it's a savage story, but it's also like so sweet, the
Yeah,
relationship between these children, and I thought they did a great job.
yeah. Um,
What'd you
I went
pick?
Triangle, of course.
Triangle's great.
Number 10, here's a good one. The Mist against Get Out.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I was surprised that Get Out it took a beating, right?
I don't know
I
if it took
think
a beating. I got to look to see where it landed, but I feel
it
like
was pretty lopsided and stuff, so which just tells us that our whole group is racist, obviously. Um,
That's
or
right.
maybe just Jerry. Uh, no, I think we both I voted for Get Out. I think Get Out is peak Peel right there. I don't think he's ever done anything as good as that. Till I'll still see the stuff he puts out, but I he lost me on everything else he's put out,
That
to
was
be
his
honest with you.
appetite for destruction.
I think so, man. I don't know. I mean, they gave him the keys to the castle very quickly, I feel like, off of this film. And this film was fantastic. I think it's perfect movie. But they're both great. But I did vote Get Out.
I went with The Mist. I went with The Mist because I don't know, I connected with it more. Get Out's great, but The Mist, just that whole setting, even the monsters were so kind of like 50 sci-fi looking, which I loved.
Yeah,
And that ending was just like
brutal.
unbelievably like you're like, holy shit, you
Yeah,
motherfuckers. So
savage.
number 11, Smile against Frailty.
Oh, I missed that one. Um, so I'm voting live on the air right now, is what we're doing right here. Smile's a great film. I thought it was great, much better than the sequel, in my opinion. But Frailty is just uh, a really perfect film. Bill Paxton, McConaughey. The story's great. Um, and I would go with Frailty.
I was blown away by Smile, right? I had no intentions on seeing Smile. It just looked like one of those like it's like okay, here's like a jump scare movie and it's gonna be
Yes.
dumb and it's like okay, it's like oh I smile and like you're like it just seems so fucking stupid to me and I feel like I don't know if I saw it in theaters or maybe rented it like my girlfriend and I was pretty blown away. I was like, I couldn't believe how effective it was, and then the ending of it with that like monster at the end with fucking what's his face's daughter, Bacon's daughter. I was like, yo, this movie is super effective. That being said, I mean, Frailty is just unbeatable. It's just very tough to top Frailty. And I avoided Frailty for 9 years and
Ooh.
it was one of those movies because once again there was something about early 2000s that is just I'm like this doesn't even feel like a horror movie. I'm not going to watch it. I don't really care.
Even with
And
Billy P.
I know, right? So the decade, right? There was like a decade list and it was like best horror movies of the last 10 years or the millennium. So it was from 2000 to 2010 and Frailty kept making the list, and I was like, Matthew McConaughey and Bill Paxton are in a good horror movie. I'm like, I don't even believe it. And I watched it, and I was like, yo, this movie is so fucking good. Powers
Hmm.
Booth,
I forgot.
it,
Yeah.
yeah, it was just so like and since then, obviously, you watch it periodically, but yeah, that Frailty is one of those gems. Number 12, we have 28 Days Later against Cabin Fever.
Um, I think I missed this one too.
Voting live on air. Pull
This
it
is
up,
what the
Jamie.
people tune in for. I'm going 28 years later.
Okay.
Cabin Fever is a lot of fun, but 28 years later was another super dark, uh, post-apocalyptic, dystopian kind of bleak film that resonates with me. What did you pick?
I'm gonna break away with you on this one. I went with Cabin Fever because I've recently rewatched both. Um, and there is, I mean, technically, 28 Days Later really is horrific. I don't even remember seeing Ewan McGregor's penis in it, but there it was when I rewatched it. I'm like, wow, that's disturbing. Um,
A lot of dong in that franchise.
there is a lot of dog in that franchise. But Cabin Fever was so much fun when I rewatched it, and it was so gross, and just the gore was so fucking great in that, and it was just pure violence, and I fucking loved it. It was just, once again, top tier body horror. All right, so moving right along, here's a tough one, right?
Mhm.
Deathgasm and The Void.
Yeah, this was one of the hardest ones I think you
Yeah,
put up, man, because
yeah. I heard
I
people tell me to go fuck off with this one.
then you got a good one. But that was tough, man. Those are two I love both of those films like a lot.
Yeah,
And it's the same kind of thing, man. Deathgasm, a lot of fun. It's awesome, rewatchable as fuck. Uh, but man, I gotta go the other way on that one, man. Just by
same.
a hair,
Yeah.
because the Void was just. I remember that being very polarizing on the horror nerd group when it
I
came out. I think a lot of people hated it, but I was like, man, like
How?
this
Right?
is like I didn't get it. This was like Hellraiser, sci-fi, whatever.
Yeah.
Those people in the parking lot were freaky as fuck. It's fucking awesome,
It's
awesome. I
Hellraiser and
watch it
the
every year.
thing. Yo, it's so fun. To me, I'm like, what more do you want in a fucking movie for them to sneak? And then the ending, like all that
Oh,
imagery, I'm like, this is insane. Like, what do you think?
insane.
Yeah, definitely The
I would
Void.
love to see another one of those too. Mr.
Um,
Steve, put that out.
14, we have 30 Days of Night against Dead Girl.
I gotta still vote in this one. Probably 30 Days a Night.
Okay.
Dead Girl's great, but I'd go 30 Days a Night.
30 days is up there with let the right one in, like where it's just this like you're freezing watching this movie, and it's just
mm,
it's hopeless. Like you're like we're all gonna die,
such a
basically.
great premise though. Like,
Yeah.
because that shit actually, those dark days in Alaska, why not
Yeah.
put vampires there?
Yeah.
Like,
They're like, "Oh, we're
but
gonna go here hang out for the next 30
yeah,
days."
makes
Um
sense.
I went with Dead Girl. I went with Dead Girl because, shout out to Trent Haga. What an uncomfortable movie.
Mm,
Like it was just so like purely weird and dark. These kids touching this dead girl really inappropriately.
yeah.
And I mean, it's just horrific. It's a pretty horrific movie when you think of
It's an
like,
acting role for that girl.
yeah,
It's-
totally.
She was laid out butt naked like for a long time.
She sure was. All right. Number 15 of 24. Here we go. Wrapping it up
Yeah.
soon. The Autopsy of Jane Doe against Incident in a Ghostland. This might have been the toughest one for me so far.
Ooh, I'd go with Autopsy. Autopsy's really good.
Autopsy's at like one of those movies it's atmospheric and delivers. Like it's legitimately eerie. Emil Hirsch and Brian Cox were fucking killer in it. But I went with Incident in a Ghostland because when you're watching Incident in a Ghostland, it's just a home invasion, and then it turns into something else, and then it turns into something else, and it's just like a real mind melter of a movie. And I don't think enough people have seen it. And like I said, this might have been the toughest decision for me. But Incident in Ghostland, the director of Martyrs, just really knocked it out of the park. And it blew my wig when it unwrapped and you figure out what's going on. Okay, so the next one, which I'm gonna probably put up soon, The Descent versus 2017 It.
The Descent. I thought that it films were all right. Sorry about that. Nobody's home. Just had to take care of that. Um, where were we? Which were the two choices there?
Descent and
The
It.
Descent. That's right. Descent. The It thing. Jesus Christ, man. Sorry about that. I'm gonna go into Descent. Descent was awesome. I loved it the first time I saw it. I have a phobia of that kind of shit, those closed spaces and caves and whatnot. I don't do well with that to begin with. Throwing them freaky creatures and a great cast, sold.
Wow, that's interesting. I mean, that's tough too. I didn't pick yet, obviously. Um, I think I'm gonna go with it. I think I'm gonna go with it. Very tough, but I just, you know,
It
I
was the
thought
It sequel you said, or the first one?
no, the first one.
Okay.
It or it's. But I'm gonna go with it 2017. A couple more left here. Number 17, a movie that I feel like most people did not watch, but it
Okay.
fucking freaked me out because I felt like I was in a nightmare and I wanted it to end. The movie called Empty Man against Martyrs.
Man, I don't think I've ever seen that.
You gotta,
Uh,
it's probably on
I love
HBO.
Martyrs.
Yeah,
I'm looking it up right now. Empty Man?
yeah.
Hmm. Never heard of it.
It's fucking bizarre. It's one of those movies.
2020.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that feels like 1408, which, was also adjacent. I didn't put it in. Wounds is another one. Even the movie I mentioned before, Vicious, like they're these movies that just feel like you're in a nightmare. Even Smile 2 had kind of like that vibe.
I'm throwing it in the queue right now. Never seen it.
But yeah, for me, Martyrs. Martyrs is spoiler alert, the best horror movie I've seen in the last 25 years. It's just I don't think it'll win this bracket because I don't think people have the affinity that I have for it. But I love Empty Man, but Martyrs is just unfucking believable and brutal. And same thing, you don't really even know the plot of the movie till halfway through the movie, and you're just like, holy shit. Is that what we're doing here?
Did you see the American remake of that?
I
Was
just
that
didn't
any
want
good?
to. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the like any of those like, for not for any re I just I I can't imagine. Like I can't imagine
Yeah.
it. So
No, I get it.
all right, number 18, Eden Lake against Speak No Evil.
Ooh, that's
Tough.
fucking hard, bro.
I know.
Man. I'm gonna go Eden Lake just to give it that underdog kind of shine because it still is an underseen film. Uh, you know, the other one had that stupid looking
Yeah.
American remake
I
recently.
saw that.
I guess I didn't see that for the same reason you just said
Oh,
you
I
would.
saw that one because it when they put it up on Peacock, I watched Speak No Evil, and I was like, you know what? I like James McAvoy. I forget the cast, but it was a good cast. Scoot, whatever, the guy from Narcos, and that movie was I was angry because it's nothing like the original. It's nothing like the original.
The director said they like Americanized the ending. I guess they
Oh,
had a
I
more
think
of a feel good ending, right? Or not feel good, but like more of
who
a positive
did?
ending. And then I got so mad when they gave the tongue cutout
Ye-
reveal in the trailer for someone. I'm like, that's a big moment in the original film. Like, fuck you, assholes. But the original, I digress. The original is fantastic and shit. But
Oh, I didn't. You know what I didn't even notice?
what's
Maybe
that?
subconsciously. The director of Eden Lake is the director of the remake.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
subconsciously I probably put them together. But you went Eden Lake. I'm gonna go Speak No Evil. I Both movies made me very angry.
Oh yeah.
Both
They're
movies made
tough
like I
watches.
wanted to just fucking like beat the shit out of like those little kids and eat like I wanted to just smoke them all. And in Speak No Evil, I'm like, are you guys fucking like what is going on right now? But it just like by the end, both have just bleak endings too. I don't know. You picked
Yeah.
Ian Lake. I'm going Speak No Evil. Why not? I mean,
There's
it's just
there's no wrong choice with
there's no
those
wrong
two. They're
choice.
both fantastic.
I
Yeah.
can't believe he directed the remake because I was like, I
That's
feel like,
wild.
yeah. Number 19, High Tension against Inside.
Oh man, it's getting tight here. Despite my problem with that spot in High Tension, I love that fucking movie.
Oh yeah,
Love it, love it, love it. Oh man.
I'm gonna go Inside. I think Inside
I'm gonna
might
go
be.
Inside as well.
I think Inside might be the greatest home invasion movie. When you think of, yeah, it's just fucking next to Martyrs. I think it's my number two. Like it's just
It's
so
savage.
insane. Like it's so
And that's a
insane.
movie I felt really for the protagonist because you put, a pregnant woman is so vulnerable and stuff like that. I was feeling like when the knife swings and shit like that, it really got to me. Plus, I'm a huge Beatrice Dahl fan, the girl that played the attacker.
I thought you were going to say you
Uh,
were a huge fan of pregnant women.
I am, Sam. You're not.
That's true.
Be more supportive. But Beatrice Dahl is so fantastic. She's this crazy French actress who has a cult following, and I'm one of the cult.
You're one. Okay, yeah, so we both go Inside. Five left here in round one. Number 20, When Evil Lurks, against a movie that no one has seen except me, probably. But I had to throw it in, The Dead Center. The Dead Center is. Did you ever watch that?
I don't think so. I'm
Man,
typing it right now. I'm gonna look
it's
that up.
fucking really good. Just it's a movie that just the creep factor works. It's just I can't even describe it, but bad choice, bad matchup for it because I mean, When Evil Lurks is like have fun beating that, that's like
The movie's incredible. I
yeah,
haven't seen The Dead Center, but I will.
okay.
So I have to go the other way. But there's a lot that that could be one of my favorite films that we've mentioned so far. That would be up there. It's fantastic.
Without a doubt, like when you get to that gross guy, with when they when they go looking for this guy, and then once you get to the ex-wife's house and the tension builds up and you're like, is this dog about to lose its shit? And then it just fucking snaps that kid's head. I'm
Yeah,
like, okay. About 20 minutes into the movie, we're like, all right, no, all right, I see what's going on. They don't care. Like,
yeah, yeah.
whoever's getting it is getting it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Number 21, The Substance versus Found.
Mm, Found. Which one is found? Fill me in on that one. Did I
Found
see
is
that?
the kid that has a brother who's a killer. Like if you look it up, you'll remember it.
I mean, I have to go Substance off the top of my head because again, Substance would be one of my favorites. That's probably going to be in this whole poll. It's such an incredible, perfect horror movie.
Just did a rewatch, the third one, so but right? Found. A bullied and misunderstood boy must grapple with the knowledge that his older brother is a serial killer. Now, in it, it's funny. This is one of those movies that has like he was going into his video collection and watching these movies, and from this video collection, they decided to make a companion movie called Headless. After he went through the videos, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But Found is really like bleak and uncomfortable. But yeah, the
I
substance is
did,
it is just very tough.
yeah, I guess I did see this movie like a few years ago because I rated it in here, but I don't remember it that well. Found.
Yeah.
Check it out again. But the Substance is top tier.
Yeah, just HBO put it up, so I did a rewatch with Karen, and it's just the direction, the acting, the characters, everything about it, the colors, like it's just this fucking world of madness. And this, I mean, really the ultimate body horror movie, probably next to like The Fly. Once she starts turning, her body starts turning. You're like,
I'm a fan of that girl. She is it's always so exciting when you see a director and a couple of films under the belt that I'm like, oh, this we got somebody here to follow, you know?
yeah.
Like I can't wait for this person's next work.
All right, last three. Here we go. Number 22, Oddity against a Serbian film.
I never saw a Serbian film. Uh I liked Oddity a lot. I would probably vote that. I didn't see a Serbian film. I just didn't. I had a feeling it was going to be stupid. Like I get like the all right, you're raping babies and doing whatever. It's just going to be like see how far we can go. Is that what we're at?
Yeah, I don't think that was like I think that was like part of it, but that wasn't like a plot point. I think
Hmm.
it was just like these snuff movies that this guy was making. This director wanted this porn star to make. The one thing that I will say about a Serbian film that caught me off guard, is that it was actually a well done movie. Like there
Yeah.
was money put, like it wasn't like a lunatic trauma movie. It was like an actual movie. Just the subject matter was so fucking out there. That being said, I will say Oddity. I'm gonna go with Oddity because Oddity is so atmospheric, and it's very tough to make a movie that's atmospheric, slow, quiet, with no background noise, and have it fucking be as effective as the movie Oddity. So that would be my pick for sure.
Agreed.
All right, last two here. Final Destination against May.
Ooh. First Final Destination?
Yeah, I figured that's the one. It's very tough
Why
to
not?
pick, but yeah.
May is fantastic little indie horror film. Love May, but I'd probably go Final Destination. That's another batting average franchise right there. I know we're only talking about the first film, but what a great concept for him. I mean, what we just talked about with films, give me good kills, interesting, creative, and this franchise just is basically built around that. Like here's, death is coming for you. Let's think of 10 cool ways to kill all these people.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
it's
there.
just like Saw. Saw the
Right.
same
Yeah.
thing, like through like every movie you're like, "Oh, this is really cool." But I will say May. I went with May because I think May speaks to so many things like the mental illness, like the fucking just like it's just really a warped fucking movie and Angela Bettis as the main character is so fucking warped and fucking insane and does such a great job of it. Um, it was such a unique movie. I can't get it, like I can't recommend that movie enough. So May would be my pick. All right, finishing up round one and the episode here, obviously. Number 24, The Last Shift, which is unbelievably good, and I Saw the Devil.
Ooh, man. The Last Shift is fantastic. Love that movie. But I Saw the Devil is next
Next
level for
level,
me.
yeah, yeah.
Um, that remake's coming out eventually, right? I've been hearing about that forever.
I don't know. I
Who was
listen.
doing that?
Let me talk about The Last Shift real quick here.
Yeah, yeah.
Unbelievable. Like even the movie poster is so jarring and like off-putting. You're like, whoa, like that face with the pentagram in it really works. And the actual movie is so minimal, but the effects and the atmosphere and just everything about it, like if you put that movie on at night and dim the lights, it's very effective.
Sure.
Unfortunately, it had to go up against something, and I saw the devil is
Listen,
like I saw the devil is just pure fucking madness. And listen, yeah, I struggled. I was like, maybe it doesn't belong on there. It's thriller, but I'm like, all right, let's just leave this one in there because I would have a hard time figuring out if Seven would be on this list. And
hmm,
they're pretty much, those are like the
yeah,
two best serial killer movies. But this one just has that twist of like, okay, well, they're fucking with the serial killer on this one. So, uh,
right.
yeah, we're gonna see how round one plays out, and round two is gonna be fucking bananas when these movies go against each other. And
Yeah, no, I'm glad you did this because, like I said, I'd revisit all these 80s and 70s and whatever so much. I don't sometimes to pick my brain about the last 25 years was fun.
yeah, I like I said, there were certain things that I left off, and I'm like, well, Cabin in the Woods was kind of like okay, um, uh, Coming Home in the Dark. Certain movies, like I said, Kidnapped. certain movies where I'm like, well, I think that they're fucking absolutely fucking amazing, and some are better known than others, but I feel like in my brain, this is a really good 48. So, all right, I gotta run.
Yeah, man. All right. Be good.
Rock
Talk
and
to you
roll.
soon.
Later.
Bye.